Once upon a time in a magical kingdom far away, there lived a young girl named Clara who loved fairy tales and fantasy stories. Every night before bed, Clara would snuggle under the covers and imagine herself going on exciting quests and meeting fantastical creatures. One sunny morning, Clara woke up and decided to go on a walk in the forest near her village. She packed a bag with her favorite book of fairy tales and a snack, then skipped down the shady forest path. The sunlight streamed through the trees and birds chirped merrily as Clara went deeper into the woods. After walking for some time, Clara came across a beautiful, glistening pond. She sat down under a tall oak tree and opened her book of fairy tales. Just as she started reading about unicorns, she heard a twig snap on the other side of the pond. Clara looked up from her book and couldn't believe her eyes. There was a baby unicorn standing at the edge of the pond. The unicorn foal had a silvery white coat, a shiny golden horn, and eyes that sparkled like sapphires. It saw Clara across the pond and approached her slowly. Clara held perfectly still, not wanting to frighten the mystical creature. The unicorn foal nuzzled Clara's hand gently, as if it had known her all its life. Clara was elated. She couldn't believe a real unicorn was right in front of her. She pet its soft muzzle and ran her fingers through its mane. The unicorn foal nickered happily. Just then, Clara heard flapping wings overhead. She looked up to see a dragon flying above the trees. The dragon circled lower until it landed on the other side of the pond. Clara felt nervous being so close to a fire-breathing dragon, but it gazed at her curiously with huge golden eyes. The dragon was the color of emeralds, with glittering green scales and sharp spines down its back. It stretched out its long neck to sniff at the baby unicorn, huffing out puffs of smoke from its nostrils. To Clara's surprise, the unicorn foal didn't seem afraid of the dragon at all. The two mystical creatures approached each other without hesitation. The dragon let the unicorn nuzzle its talons in friendship. Clara couldn't believe what she was seeing, a real live dragon and unicorn acting tame as kittens. Just as Clara was marveling at the pair of mythical creatures, she heard delicate laughter behind her. She turned to see a fairy flitting towards her. The fairy had rainbow-colored wings and a dress made of petals. She hovered in front of Clara's face and gave a tiny, musical greeting. "I am Sylvidia, protector of this forest," the fairy said in a small, lilting voice. "You have a kind heart, Clara. That is why the unicorn foal and young dragon have revealed themselves to you." Clara was honored by the fairy's words. She had never seen such amazing creatures before. Sylvidia went on to explain that the dragon's name was Emerald, while the unicorn foal was called Moonbeam. The three had been waiting for a new friend to join their magical world. Excited by this prospect, Clara eagerly agreed to visit Emerald and Moonbeam's forest home. The emerald dragon lowered its neck in invitation. With the help of Sylvidia's magic, Clara was able to climb onto Emerald's back. She held on tightly as the mighty dragon took flight, with Moonbeam galloping along below. Clara felt like she was living in one of her fairy tales. Up in the clouds, everything was lush and vibrant. She saw sparkling waterfalls, wooded glens filled with flowers, and ruins covered in vines. Emerald soared over the landscape, occasionally blowing shimmering smoke rings into the air. Soon they arrived at a misty valley nestled between towering mountains. A rainbow waterfall cascaded into a crystal pool. Around the valley were caves and ruins grown over with moss and roses. It was the most enchanted place Clara had ever seen. Emerald glided down until all 4 feet touched the soft grass. Moonbeam cantered up beside them, giving a happy whinny. Then from behind the waterfall, a whole herd of unicorns appeared. There were unicorns of all colors, blue, pink, silver, and gold. Their pearlescent horns gleamed in the sunshine. "Welcome to our sanctuary," Sylvidia said, hovering next to Clara. "For generations, the unicorns have stayed hidden from humans. But they sense that you have a good heart." Clara bowed graciously to the unicorns. She slowly walked up to a beautiful unicorn with a golden horn and white mane. It allowed Clara to stroke its silky neck. Soon Clara was petting and feeding apples to all the curious unicorns. They seemed to love her gentle touch. While Clara was making friends with the unicorns, Emerald settled down for a nap in a sunny patch of grass. He rolled onto his back like an oversized puppy, smoke curling from his nostrils. Clara had to giggle at the sight of the fearsome dragon acting so harmless. As the day went on, Clara played and explored with her new unicorn and dragon friends. She discovered crystal caves, fairy grottos, and old stone ruins. Everywhere she went, there was some new magical wonder to behold. When the sun started to set, Clara knew it was time to head home. She bid a fond farewell to the unicorns and promised to visit again soon. Sylvidia assured Clara she could return to the valley whenever she wanted. The kind-hearted girl had proven herself a friend of unicorns. Clara climbed back onto Emerald's back, ready for another thrilling ride. Moonbeam frolicked underneath them as the emerald dragon took to the skies. Within minutes, they arrived back at the forest pond where their adventure had begun. After Clara slid down from Emerald's back, she gave the dragon and unicorn full thankful hugs. She would never forget the magical day they had shared. As the fantastical pair disappeared into the twilight forest, Clara grabbed her bag and headed home. She excitedly readied for bed and picked out her favorite pajamas, the ones covered in unicorns and dragons. Clara snuggled under the covers, eager to return to the enchanted valley in her dreams. Her belief in fairy tales and magic had come true today. With wonderful new friends like Emerald, Moonbeam, and Sylvidia, she knew this was only the first of many mythical adventures to come.